up using layer masks and camera raw. This image is meant to have that kind of fall, autumn, warm feel, and the colors are not translating that to me. She did a great job with location and styling, but we need to also portray that in our colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into camera raw. I'm going to go into my camera raw filter. I'm going to go to basic, and I'm just going to add some yellows. I'm not going to go crazy, okay? I don't want orange people, but I'm going to add some yellows and I'm going to add some reds because those are fall colors, and I'll show you guys what that's done so far. Okay, they're just a little bit warmer. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into color grading, and color grading allows you to add colors into your shadows, into your highlights, and your midtones. I use this for every image, you guys. Now, obviously, as I kind of swing this around, you can see what different colors do to different images. For this particular image, just because I want it to feel more fall-like, I'm going to add some reds to my shadows, and I'm going to go and add some orangish yellows to my highlights, okay? And you can also deepen them or lighten them as well. So I'm going to go there with this image, just in camera raw. That's all I'm doing for this portion of it. And now I'm going to show you guys how to do some color masking. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this, but essentially what we want to do is we want to take this foliage and make it look more autumn-like. So how do we do this? Well, we need to separate the layers, and we're going to do that with a layer mask. There's lots and lots and lots of different ways to do it. I'm all about doing things easy, so that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to grab, I'm just going to grab my lasso tool, and I am literally going to go around my little girls here and select all of this foliage. Ah, it went the wrong direction. Hang on one second, you guys. I should have flipped it up and over instead of down. Okay. All right. So now you can see what's selected is the green, and it's not perfectly selected. I am going to feather that out quite a bit. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to layer via copy. So now that's on its own layer. Okay. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go down here to, I'm going to go to Selective Color, and you can see that this right now is going to affect the whole image. I just wanted to affect that layer right there. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm clicking this little arrow, and it means it's only going to affect the one that's directly below it. So now what I could do is I can go in and start playing with these colors. So I'm going to go to my reds. I'm going to darken those up. I'm going to make them more yellow. I'm going to make them more magenta, more cyan. The same thing with my yellows. You can see what happens with those. Add some more yellow in there. Magenta. Cyan. And you're just literally gonna kind of play with these and see what they're doing color-wise, okay? Now, so let's see, greens, cyans. I just like to slide through all of them because sometimes there's colors that are hidden in there, you guys. Magentas, whites. So you can see where the whites are in the highlights. I'm going to actually just pull those down, add a little more yellow to them, more magenta, so we get more of that orange. The neutrals, just darken it up a little bit, more yellow. Now, right now, this is a very extreme version of this, okay? I will show you how to make it less extreme here in just a second. Okay, so you can see what obviously you can see what that's done to those areas. Now there's different ways that you can blend this in to make it look more realistic. So these are your blending modes, okay? And you can kind of scroll through these and see what they all do. They all are going to have a different effect on how those blend in. So there's color and saturation, but I don't feel like that's really doing much. So I'm going to go back up to normal, and I'm just going to slide my opacity back a bit. Now remember, I cut this out very kind of haphazardly, so you're not really, so you're going to have a little bit of an edge. You could take your time, you could use a different selection tool, something along those lines. I'm just going to merge those together so I can show you guys. So that's what's happened over the entire image. Now I'm going to merge that, and now I'm going to work with you can work with color balance, you can work with photo filters to warm it all up. Photo filters are a great way to warm it up, but you just have to be careful because, like I said, one of the things that we really want to be careful with is turning our clients the wrong color. So for example, in this particular photo filter, the orange, you can see that I mean, it does add something to the overall image. You can see what it's doing to the sun here. It's making it more orange. It just gives you a very warm feeling. However, it's also turning the little girl's skin color orange. So what you would do in this particular case, there's several different things you could do. You can either just remove the filter off of certain areas or just apply it to certain areas. When it's white, it means it's visible. Now, because I like it over on everything except for their face and their hands, I'm going to choose to just remove some of it. So you're going to do this with a black brush. And I would probably go about 50-ish% opacity on this. And I'm going to just go in and just remove that off of their skin a little bit. If you feel like you've removed too much and they start looking like they don't blend in with the picture, you can add just a little bit in by going back to that white brush and just pulling some of it in. And of course, with anything, you can always lower the opacity a bit. So that is how I would go about warming up an image so that your colors are relaying the same feeling that the actual style and purpose of the image is.